See what doesn't look very good? That slave cylinder really is just completely disintegrating. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get it off. I'll have to try and do that. I just went a bit mad and attacked this with a spanner, and I managed to get the bracket unbolted off. Unbolted off the gearbox there. Getting into that head of that bolt there was a little bit difficult. But actually it does look like the cylinder has moved slightly, so I might be in with a chance of getting it off and apart. So I will pursue that. Can you see how badly degraded it is around there? Look, I'm pretty sure I had one of these, but I think I used it as just as a chunk of aluminium to make a distributor adapter for a flathead, would you believe? I'll try driving a screwdriver in that gap there and see if I can spread the bracket a bit and maybe it'll come off. If you look right up there, you can just make out that I've undone the hose union, and I've got my spanner on the lock nut, and I am just turning the, if I turn this, it's unscrewing. If you look, I'm turning the slave cylinder, so that's just gonna come undone now. It's probably only on a couple of threads. There we go. So there we are. There's the slave cylinder. Now, it is rather badly degraded. Now, I kind of remembered, let me just get up from under the car now. I kind of remembered that in my shed I'd got something which might be, I don't know if it's the same or different actually. It might be, I kind of remember that I got this, which looks like it might be a lighter version of this, because this has like a metal bracket on it, but this looks like it's got that piece built in. It's also got a spring on it, that's handy. But if that's the same diameter as that, it looks like this might be in better condition than that. So I might be able to use this. I'll have to have a look for some images of these and see if they look like that or like that. It looks like this might have been like a lighter version of that, because it looks functionally the same. But at least it's not all crumbling away like that one. Yeah, so I'll see if I can use this. I have got a kit. I'll find a suitable hose as well. Okay, righto. So another little side job there. Another little side job. Okay, I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Cheers then, bye. Hello, welcome to Mart's Garage. Yesterday I found this, which I've took apart. This is a slave cylinder, but the piston seems to be a bit stuck, so that's just sitting there. This is the one off the car, which is corroded, but the piston is moving. And what I did, if you can imagine, I'm holding that in my left hand, and then I've got this hammer in my right hand. I gave it a few good whacks and the piston started to move this way, so I'm hitting it on that end, and then what I've just done is held it again, but with this socket over the end, and gave it a few more whacks, and the piston has now come out far enough where I'm hoping I can just maybe grab it and pull it out. So let me see if I can do that. No, I'll continue to use impact to get it out. Okay, I'll bring you back in a bit then. You get the idea though. Don't know if you're in shot. See, it's coming out. It's a little bit harsh on my left hand. There we go. There we are, look. There's the piston and the seal. Full of suitably claggy sort of stuff. Okay, I'll clean this one up and see if I can see what I'm dealing with, and then see if I can get the other one apart, because the other one does look a bit better in that area there. This has really deteriorated. Okay, back in a bit. Ooh. Hello, I've just cleaned that clutch cylinder bracket, and I'm just attaching it. I cleaned up the original cylinder. I think it came up okay. I hope I can kind of get the cylinder into here. I'll show you those in a minute. I'll just get this done up. Here's my cylinder. I can see those scratches in the bore now. So I might have another look for my little honing tool and give it a bit of a hone. This brake hose, I believe, is a good brake hose, and it came off those front brakes that were on the struts that I got from Sheffield. I've cleaned up the threads. I've put a new copper washer there. It's not tight yet, but that will, well, I hope it will work. If it doesn't work, I've got this cylinder which I haven't tried to clean up yet. I hope if that other one doesn't work, I can use this. This was one that I'd got lying around, and I must have had it 30 years plus. But the casting looks okay. It's not degraded like that one has. But I thought I would try and use the original one if I could. So I'm going to look again for my honing tool and try and get that cleaned up. Hello, just so you can see what I've been doing. I've got this. I found my little honing tool. It just about fits into a 3/4 bore. I had to kind of chamfer it a bit there, chamfer it a bit here to get it to go in. I've cleaned up the two cylinders, and I think on reflection it has to be said that with those scratches there, that this one actually does look a bit better. So I think I'm going to go with this one. I just need to clean out that thread there and the seat, and I think I'll go with this one. Looks a bit blocked up there actually, but probably just got a bit of fluid in it. So I'll clean this up, make sure all the threads are good and it's all clean and blowed out, because that looks a bit blocked there, doesn't it? And I'll use this one, I think. Okay, so you know, good little exercise that. So I'll get this one assembled up and I'll get it on the car, and that one can go as a spare. Righto. Okay, I thought I'd just show you the setup there. Cheers then, back in a bit. Hello, right, here's my cylinder. So the pipes from the brakes from Sheffield. The cylinder is one that I had here, and it looks okay, and I've just put a rebuild kit in it and put plenty of that red grease all around it. So I'm going to put this on the car. Okay, it's only a couple of minutes later. Cylinder's in place. I don't know if there's a correct setting procedure, but I pushed the thing all the way in, and then there's a little bit of free play there, look, so that the clutch can wear. And I've attached the spring. I took the spring and just gave it a little bit of black paint, the same as this. So that's on, and I've just fed that up there, and that goes up to the bracket okay. In other words, the length of the hose is okay. Okay, so I'll put I've just ordered some lock nuts actually. I thought I'd just go with like the half nut size nut on the fitting up there, and so when those come in, I can attach that and get that fitted nice. I need one of them star washers as well. I've kind of lost it. It must be on the floor somewhere. I'll have a look, see if I got one in the tray of parts and things. Okay, yeah, I think that's okay. There might be a setting procedure. I'll have a look. If not, it's a very simple matter to adjust that and just get it right. Okay, righto. A little sort of, you know, side job there then. Okay, righto. I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Cheers then. Hello, I came out to the car this morning to just carry on finishing up a few little things from yesterday. And the first thing I did was to put the nuts on the suspension bolts that I put in yesterday. So they're on, and the threads were okay, so I hadn't damaged those, so that's good. So there's the nut on there. Same on that one as well, and the and down there as well. And I've put those on, with the weight of the car on its wheels, and I've bounced the suspension up and down a few times before, you know, before as well. The other thing I did, I looked through my stash of old brake parts and stuff, and I found some of these washers. I have ordered some, but I found these, so I was able to carry on. I'll put the camera down there. You might see that there's one on that brake pipe there. Then what I also did is took a nylock nut and turned it down on the lathe to make a thin nut there. I think they might have used standard nuts, but I like to use a thin nut, so I used a thin nut there. So in theory now I can put that fitting onto there, and in theory I could add fluid to that, to the clutch circuit. So let's get that connected on there then, and I'll look at putting some fluid in. Okay, back in a bit. Hello, welcome to Mart's Garage. I have just been doing little kind of detail jobs, but I just wanted to bring you up to speed. It's not much, but it's just a start. First of all, I've swapped the rear. I swapped those stands that I had at the back and put them at the front. And I put the stands that I had at the front at the back. That means the front is higher. Whether or not that's a good thing is another matter, because it's rather hard to reach into the engine bay now, but you know, hey ho. I wanted it, I thought I'd try it like this while I do the, you know, the repairs to the sill and things like that. But I'm also doing brake pipes, so while I'm doing brake pipes, it's a good idea to have it nice and high. The back plates went on yesterday. I've put this hose on and put the correct star washer. Where are we? I put the correct star washer on, and I've made a thin nut. Now the thin nut might not be correct, but I don't know. I think it's okay. So I've put that on. I've made 3 of those and put those on. The 2 front brakes and the clutch pipe. So those are on. I found that bracket. This is the left-hand side of the car. Put that on, and assemble this hose up again with a star washer and a thin nut. So yeah, just little bit by little bit. I'm going to decide which hubs I want to use, clean them up, and fit the correct bearings and seals for these struts. This hub unfortunately had a lot of oil spilt into it. It wasn't oily from leaking seal, I tipped a tub over that had shock absorber oil in it. It went into this drum. So I'm going to look to see if the two hubs off the Sheffield struts are better. If they are, I'll use those, but what I will have to do is swap the inside bearings. As I'm saying it, I'm kind of weighing it up in my mind. Now I'm going to try and I'm going to do the opposite, because I just don't think I'll be able to knock the bearings out and back in, you know, successfully. I'll wash this and fit it. Well, I don't know. I'll have a look. This hub is off the Sheffield struts, and it is very oily. This is off the side where the bearing failed, and it fell apart, but a load of grease leaked first. So unless the braking surface is miles better on this one, it's probably worth using one of the originals. But I did sorry, I'm getting a bit waffly here. The original ones, the braking surface wasn't great, so I am just trying to weigh up my possibilities. Okay, so I've got a couple of little things I want to do. I want to look at the front drums and get them sorted. I want to look at the front brake pipes and get those sorted. So I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Cheers then, bye. Hello, I've got one of the original brake drums in the lathe. I just put a taper on that piece of metal and put it in the end where the bearing goes. And I've got the taper of a chuck sitting in the wheel bearing there. It's turning on the wheel, on its own wheel bearing. And I've just took some emery cloth and cleaned up the surface there. It looks okay while it's spinning round. It don't look so good while it's not, although it does look better now. Yeah, that's I'd say that's okay. Okay, righto, so I thought I'd just show you that setup. I'm not going to skim it, I'm just cleaning it. I don't believe in skimming drums unless it's absolutely necessary. You know, thousands of miles of good, perfectly good braking surface, why would you want to get rid of that? So I'll wash the middle bit and clean it, grease the bearing, inspect and grease the bearings, put a new grease seal in, which I do have, and get at least this side back on the car. Okay, righto, back in a bit then. I just thought I'd show you the setup there. Here's the other drum. I've just kind of put some brake cleaner on it, and just thought I'd kind of give a bit of a before, and let's see if we can kind of improve it a bit. Okay, that's 508 RPM. Don't know what road speed that equates to. Okay, doesn't look too bad. A fair bit of pitting. I imagine it'll just kind of, you know, clean itself up as it gets used. Okay, got a bit more. Yes, that bit there's not bad, look. You can feel a tiny bit of something as it goes round, but not too bad. Okay, be interesting to see how the brakes perform. At least they're not all got deep grooves in them. I'll continue to work on the brakes then, and I'll bring you back when there's more to show. This is for my own benefit, I'm just taking this record, but in case somebody else needs it. This is an FAG from Germany, K07098, and this fits the early spindles. This is a Timken 07098, I think. Yeah, that's the same number, just with a K on the front of it. 07098. So I'm guessing that one might have been replaced. Okay, I'll continue to clean this one then. This is an outer bearing. This is a FAG one. K03062. I've put both the front hubs on, cleaned all the bearings, greased them all up. This one does sound a bit rumbly, so I need to probably get that apart again and have a closer look, see if there's a problem with the bearings. And now that I've got all the numbers, maybe I could get some new ones, or at least look to see if I got any better ones. I've adjusted them, but I haven't put split pins in yet because I don't know if I'm finished yet. This one is a bit quieter. That one's a bit quiet. I think that one's okay. So yeah, definitely I need to look at the other one. But so those are on anyway, so the car would be capable of rolling now, rolling and steering. No, I think I need to look at the wheel bearings again on that other side. And I need to look at the availability of the part numbers that I've just checked. I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Hello. I took the hub off this side, the one that sounded noisy, and this bearing, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but I did notice some pitting on at least one. That one there, for instance, that roller there, maybe others. So this is a Timken. I went through my drawers of stuff over there and I found this other one. It's a Timken with the same part number. I have a feeling this came off my trailer axle, and that's one. I've washed it and it doesn't feel as bad. It feels kind of okay, so I will grease that up and put that on. The seal popped out. I popped the seal out by hammering the bearing out, but the spring has come off, so I'm going to put the spring back on and put that back together. I think it'll be okay. Find out, won't we, when I start driving it. Okay, I'll grease that up and put it back together then. Okay, I've assembled this one up and it doesn't sound too bad now. Sounds about the same as the other one, so, and the other one sounded a lot quieter than this one was, so this one must be quieter than the other one. Here's what the other one sounds like. It's alright. Sounds about the same, so it must be better than it was before, I meant to say, rather than the other one. Okay, righto, I'll leave it at that then, and we'll see how it goes. I'll have a look to see the availability of new bearings. If they're reasonable, I might just get some. Okay, thanks a lot then, take care, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers then, bye. Hello, I'm lying under the car. I've just made a brake pipe that runs from there down to there. It's only a short one. To be honest, I wish I'd have made it about 1/2 inch longer. It would have run a bit slightly better, but It is what it is, it does reach. The other brake pipe I've just put back on. It runs across to there, so that's all on and tightened up. In this area there's my clutch slave cylinder. I don't know if that's weeping now. I think I might take the washer off and anneal it. I haven't bled it through yet, but I did put fluid in the master cylinder which might have run down. I cleaned that a little bit because it was very dirty, and those unions are tight. That one's tight. That's my homemade half nut, although the bag of half nuts arrived this morning, so yeah, but you know, I'm happy with that, that's alright. Right down the back there is the flexi hose for the rear brakes. So as soon as I've replaced this one and that one, I might as well do that one at the back, and then in theory the brakes could be bled. The car's jacked up relatively high, so I've got good access underneath now. That front to rear brake pipe is okay. Needs clipping up, but it's okay. The fuel pipe isn't okay. That will need replacing, but I haven't really got round to those sort of jobs yet. And I need to clean up the underside of that floor there and decide what repairs I want to do. But you know, hey, there's always 1,000 other things you can do, isn't there? But for now, I've reconnected my front brakes. All the front brakes are done, the wheel bearings are in. So yeah, little bit by little bit, progress is being made. I need to swap the engine mounts as well, which I've got some better replacements for. Okay, righto. I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Hello. I've got a blowtorch there and a tub with some water in it. And here are, hang on. And here are the washers for the brake pipes. So what I'm doing is just warming them up, getting red hot, and dunking in there. Easier if you use two hands normally, but yeah, hey, for the sake of filming. Just red hot, dunk it in. And as you can see, there's quite a few in there. Okay, so I'm just showing you, because I've fitted new washers on the brake pipes, but I feel like I want to anneal them. So I'm going to fit another new one now. So I've just annealed all these. So I'm going to swap these ones in. Okay. So righto, I'll carry on with that then, and I'll bring you back when there's more to show. But I just thought I'd show you that little process. It's very easy. Flame, water, in. Hello. I'm under the back of the car now, and here is the distribution block that goes from the pipe, which goes at the front there where my finger is, to both of the rear wheels, and this bolt attaches it. But this bolt, I've taken it out specifically because it is supposed to be a breather. That's supposed to be a breather for the back axle, and I would say that that is blocked. So I'm going to try and free that up, because there was a lot of oil leaks and grease leaks from the back axle into the hubs. So if that's blocked, the axle can't breathe, can it? So I'm going to try and free that up. You can see where it's located on the top there. And there's my brake thing. So I'll take this off because I need to remake at least one of the pipes, maybe both, I'm not sure, I can't remember. So I'm under the car, it's a little bit awkward, so I'll take this off. That's there, and I think this one wants remaking, because when I undid it I twisted it quite a lot. So yeah, so I can just make that as an exact copy of what it is, and then make a new one for there that you know, is like about 1 inch longer than that. And I'll free this up as well. Okay, righto, I'll bring it back when there's more to show. Hello, yeah, I made a little progress. I got the pipes out of there, out the union. There's always some bit of crap on it. Okay, I've made a little bit of progress. There's the breather bolt. I wire wheeled that to clean it up, and then I had to sort of knock this around a bit with a hammer and then get some grips on it and twist it, get it moving. I've drilled it out and blown it out, and if you blow down it now, it breathes out through there. That's if you've got one of these on your axle. I believe they use them on other things as well. You go reach underneath and make sure this top is just a rattling loose fit like that. If it's tight, it's probably blocked. So that will go in there, and I can tighten that up now. Go and fit that back on the axle now. Okay, back in a bit. I don't know if it's worth mentioning or not, but one side of this fitting is curved. That's obviously the side that goes towards the axle. Okay, put a bit of grease on it to try and stop it rusting. Righto, I'll show you that when it's fitted then. Hello, I thought I'd show you this little trick. I've got my brake pipe here, and there's the axle casing, and I wanted to hold it to the axle casing. Here's where the original little tab was that it used to hold it, but that's rotted away. So I want to use a cable tie, but I want to also hold it to the axle, but hold it off the axle. So I took the cable tie around, then took it one turn around there, and then I've just done it over the back there. I need to trim that off, but that holds it and holds it off as well. And I've done the same there. In fact, that looks, I've done it different there, haven't I? But the same thing applies. It's held off by the thickness of the cable tie. Okay, there you can see the grippy side of it. So your choice, either like that or like that, but they both work. Okay, and you can see that there's a gap between the pipe and the axle. Okay, so there's a new pipe in there, look, in there, another new pipe there, in there, and in there. You probably can't see it, I ain't got the light on the camera. Oh, there it is, yeah. I don't know if I'll try and bleed them yet, but they are piped. I've had a good little session today. All these little nicky-nacky bits, you know, little bits and pieces. So take care, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers then, bye. Hello, in my hand is a brake hose. Now I fitted this the other day, but I decided I wanted to swap the copper washer for one that's been annealed. So I've took the hose off, and also those stainless shakeproof washers came in, and the factory sort of spec, not the factory spec, and the proper thin nuts. I like to use thin nuts on these. I don't know if that's correct or not, but I do like to use thin nuts. So I've took the pipe off before I put any fluid in, and I'm just refitting it with these parts. I've done this one this one's got the annealed washer there, and the stainless shape proof washer there, and the thin nut there. So yeah, quite happy with that. That's all right. I'll do the back one and the clutch one as well. Okay, just bringing you up to date with what I've been doing. Back in a bit. Hello. I've done that job changing all the brake pipes, and I changed the clutch pipe as well. I actually had fluid in there, but nothing leaked out when I undid it. But I've changed the pipe, and I undid the bleed nipple down at the bottom there, and I had a can, you know, there's a can underneath the car there. There's a can there with a pipe. And I just let it stand for about, I don't know, half an hour. And I gave the pedal a couple of pumps. Not hard, just gentle strokes down, just gentle stroke up. And I've closed the bleed nipple, and it's actually, it's self-bled sort of thing, just by gravity. There's the clutch pedal. So that's, you can feel the cylinder moving down. You know, you can feel it like it's supposed to feel. So that's good, isn't it? I've put the clevis pins in, and I've put R clips on them for ease, and I've greased them a little bit. I'd more or less forgot about the clevis pins, but they're in. Can you see there's a slightly different ratio between the brake and the clutch? The clutch is a more of a ratio than the brake. Do you understand what I'm saying? The clutch has got more advantage than the brake. Anyway, just a bit of 100E trivia. So there we are. That's one little bit. That's actually one of the first parts of the car that's back, you know, restored to working order, one would hope. Should put the camera underneath the car for a laugh so we can see it working. Hang on, got to get the full picture, haven't you? All right, let's I'll go and give it a couple of presses and let's see what happens. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Well, you could probably see it moving, but I couldn't. Okay, that's good then. Now, is that out? Yeah, there's a little bit of play. I might need to adjust this. I think you slacken this and slide it slightly. You can slide it backwards and forwards. So, yeah. I don't know. I'll have to check the book. See what it says. Okay. Well, that was a good little bit of good little exercise today. I've changed all the pipes and got the clutch working. Well, one assumes it, you know, one would assume that it works. When I bleed the brakes, I'll probably give it another bleed because I'll have the easy bleed set up then. You know, the pressure bleed, or I'll just give it another bleed through. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Thanks very much for joining me in the garage. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers then. Bye.